The most anticipated show of your week.
That's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Keep It a Buck Podcast. What's going on, good people? This is your host with the most, DJ Impossible.
What?
Once again, as always, your boy E.
The bad guy.
And this is the Keep It a Buck Podcast, episode 8.
That's right.
Dope. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's going on?
It's late.
Yeah. We supposed to, what? We were supposed to start this, like, what, an hour ago?
Yeah, better.
And you over there running your mouth?
Hey, shout out to Lisa.
Jesus.
The bad guy.
No, she's not the bad guy, man. I'm the bad guy.
Oh, well.
The bad guy.
No, just give our air horn better, man.
Okay, fine. Is that
There
better?
you go. That's
Okay.
better.
So, yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, what's up, man? Well, how was your week?
it was good. It's pretty.
Man, I could not wait till this week was over, man.
Why?
I don't know, just too much work.
This week actually went kind of fast.
Yeah. Took a little bit too long for Friday to come. Today's Friday, as a matter of fact.
What was up
Friday the 18th.
What was up with that little...
What?
what was that?
Sound like Arnold.
Yeah, channeling your Arnold.
Get to the chopper. The week it's too long.
Like, what was that about? Anyway. So anyway, I got some topics for us to talk about, brother.
Really?
Well, of course.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
What you got for us today, man?
One thing I want to...
Matter of fact, hold up before...
Uh-oh.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You scared me. You said, hey, matter of fact, hold on.
No, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, go ahead. I got mine.
Any comments on a podcast?
I got some comments. We need to do some visuals, and also to we can do it live. That way, whenever people make comments about what we're talking about, they can make it in real time.
Oh, so people want to comment.
They want to comment, but we don't have to figure out how to put that schedule. That way, it's not when we normally do this, because people be long gone sleep. So we have to figure that.
Right.
We have to figure a schedule out for that. We can do it early.
Got to be early, so people can actually hear it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see how it can be incorporate like phone calls and stuff like that in there.
Well, you know your boy.
It's your boy.
I've been doing some digging.
Okay. Well, go ahead and do your homework. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm
And we're
doing
going to get
my
on
homework.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been doing my homework.
We're going to figure it out. Anyway, what's going on, everybody out there?
Yeah.
I want to send a shout out to everybody out there that been listening to the podcast.
This show is brought to you in part by the listeners.
That's right. And then another thing I wanted to add to, when we do this show, we just basically freestyle, you know, our questions, our answers, our point of views, period. We just do it straight out the dome.
Except for the last episode when I went on my little rant. That was like studied. That was perfect.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Episode 7 at the very end.
7.
You know what
yeah,
that
we
is.
got to put it out yet. We ain't put it out yet. You know what I'm saying?
Is.
But
You know what that is.
we're going to make sure we do that.
Man, this tea is on point. All right. So, first let me lead off by saying about this topic. Male teachers. I
Male
applaud
teachers.
you. You got an applause button for me?
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I need the applause
I
button.
do. Excuse me. Yeah, go ahead. That's for the male teachers.
This is for all teachers in general.
Oh, don't matter the gender.
Y'all have a really hard job. But also male teachers. Y'all. Okay, so I was thinking about it because my cousin is a teacher. He teaches math.
Okay.
Shout out to him. But I was thinking, like, back when I was in school, and I was thinking, how many teachers did I have that were men? And I mean like actual teachers, not like coaches and stuff like coaches that had to do teachers things as well to be on the staff. Not them. I'm talking about they went to school, got their teaching degree, and that was what they did. And I could only think of like 2.
Yeah, I can think about maybe 3.
As opposed to a sea of women.
Well, included in them 3, I have 1 female.
Wait, what? Hold on.
It's 3 teachers.
Oh, it's 3
2
teachers.
males, 1 female.
Oh,
that's what I meant to
was
say.
like, what? I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Only had 3 male teachers, and one of them was a woman. What?
Really?
That's interesting. But no, dead serious. Like, I was like, man, we didn't really have male teachers.
Like male role models,
Yeah.
basically.
Like, and it was brought to my attention because I was listening to another show, and they were talking about male figures being more prominent in school, because you have kids at school who some of them have both parents, some of them don't have both parents, some of them don't live with people that can quote unquote control them. They don't have that positive male influence in their life.
Right.
This, that, the other. And they usually get it at school or from the community. Well, with the number of male teachers being so low, which it's grown like 30, I think I read it was like 35% in the past few years, which is like, that's great. But it's still like
it's not too
4,
many.
you know?
Right. It's not even male teachers. You know, we talking about people like custodians and people who you know, have their little sweet shop and stuff, and they be selling stuff for the kids that's in high school. You know, you talk about people like that too.
Sweet shop in your high school?
Yeah, you never heard of that?
No.
Yeah,
No.
like they sell drinks and chips and stuff like that.
Like a free period or something?
Like they basically set themselves in the hallway, and when kids get out of class,
What?
yeah, you know that.
Man, we
Come
had
on,
we
man.
had a student center. Shout out to Warren High School. But yeah, we had a student center, and we would go in there, and half the time it took your money, and the other half of the time, whenever you got the stuff, either the drinks weren't cold because they had just put them in there, or there was nothing in there really worth getting.
Right.
We had sweet, what'd you call it?
I call it sweet shop.
Sweet shops. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I've
you get
never
your
heard of that.
candies, candy bars, and
See,
whatever
we
you
used
want.
to sell it to each other or bring like a bag of it from home and do it. We did
Yeah,
that
you
in
did that
college.
too.
Like, we would bake cookies and stuff and then sell them that way
Right.
to make a little extra money.
Yeah, but see, that's the type of people that you remember when you're in high school. Mr. Such and Such, Mr. Such and Such. You know what I'm saying? Like people that you
That's
see in the
true.
hallway all the time, you know?
Not even just high school, man. I remember still to this day a guy named Mr. Nash when I was going to school up here in town when I was a little kid.
Right.
We used to play kickball, and they nicknamed me the Foot because anytime I kicked the ball, it'd be gone. So Mr. Nash would always be the pitcher or the roller,
Right.
and he would always tell him as soon as I walk up, he'd be like, "Okay, just count this one as a home run," you know. And that guy literally stuck with me. Like, and all he did was play sports with us. He wasn't a coach or anything. He was like a
Volunteer.
yeah, basically. I think he
Yeah.
did like crosswalks or something, and like was a chaperone for like recess.
Right.
But he stuck with me all these years.
Yeah, that's the people that you remember. You know what I'm saying?
Like Mr. Barnett, Mr. Vaughn, Sergeant Washington, like all these people that I've known, and a lot of these people, if they were teachers or whatever, I didn't even have them as my teacher. Like I never took their class, but they have a positive thing in my life.
Impact in your
Yeah.
life, some kind of way. Yeah, like, and then if you go back to some of the schools that you went to, you probably see them there, still there.
Yeah, some of them are still there. Some of them have moved on to other things. Some of them aren't living anymore.
Right.
Like Sergeant Washington, like rest in peace. Like he passed not many years after we graduated.
Right.
It hit us hard. Like he was over ROTC. I wasn't even in ROTC. Like I was tore up.
Yeah.
Because, and the reason I brought this up is because, like I said, like social media is a thing now, and then on top of that, you've got the media on TV, music videos, where kids think it's cool to be like the characters that they see on TV. Like all the little girls want to be the bad girls club. All the guys want to be the guys on hip hop, whatever. What's the name of the show?
What show?
Love and Hip Hop. They want to reenact that. They want to be them people.
Right.
And that's from not even just high school. That's like elementary and up.
Right.
So that's what you're seeing at school. And then they don't have any male figures, which I'm not saying women can't do it, because I know some women, they'll put you in line quick. But without that male figure that they might not have,
Right.
how do they excuse me, how do they make it past that phase and try to better themselves?
Yeah, because they look up to those characters on TV.
Right.
Right. So they get influenced. I know. It depends on the parents. You know, if you let your kids watch stuff like that at an early age, you pretty much is gonna be creating something that you don't want to see later on in life.
But see, a lot of parents say they try to shield them from it. It's almost impossible now. They gonna see it,
Right.
whether we know about it or not. They're gonna see it. And then like music that we listen to, that's what causes a lot of these kids, people in general, but literally kids growing up, listening to that, thinking that that's the way that things need to be. That's the way they've been set out for them. That's how addictions and all this other stuff starts, which is another topic that I wanted to talk about tonight.
Right.
Which, I mean, it goes from there.
It starts.
And it starts there and goes into, and that's their life now.
Right.
All because maybe they needed one extra male teacher or one extra teacher period that they didn't have.
Got it.
Like addiction is real.
Yeah. I mean, addictions can start from when you start, you know, saying the ABCs.
And it's not even just like drugs or whatever. It's literally anything.
It can be anything, yeah.
Like
From watching cartoons, from playing video games,
right, or drinking Coke.
drinking Coke.
Like addiction is real, and
Yeah.
people don't really talk about it.
Right.
So, one thing I really wanted to touch on is what addiction is. And I was going to ask you first, what is addiction to you?
What is addiction to me?
Yeah.
First of all, before I answer that question, we are going to look it up.
I'm sorry I keep coughing. This tea is so good, it's just like freezing my vocal cords.
Okay, so addiction is a noun.
End of the podcast.
Okay, that's the end of the podcast. Okay. It says the state of being enslaved to a habit or practice or to something that is psychologically or physically habit forming as narcotics to such an extent that its cessation cause severe trauma. So I mean, I understand the definition for it, but at the same time, I feel like addiction can be something like we talked about early, from video games, from drinking, smoking, sex addiction.
Yeah.
We have so many addictions, so many things that you can get addicted from. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that is serious. It's some serious stuff.
So I saw this and I wanted to read it because I agree with it, but I don't agree with it at the same time. So it says addiction is a complex condition, a brain disease that is manifested by compulsive substance use despite harmful consequence. People with addiction have an intense focus on using a certain substance or substances, giving examples being alcohol or drugs, to the point that it takes over their life. They keep using the things even when they know it will cause problems. Yet a number of effective treatments are available, and people can recover from addiction and lead normal, productive lives. Now,
well, what I think about that, because people can get addicted from drugs and alcohol, that is the main definition for addiction in general. But we talking about like addictions that that these kids are, things that these kids are getting into that becomes addicted. You know what I'm saying? They become addicted to it. You know what I'm saying?
Which is what I was thinking. So this one was giving examples of drugs and alcohol.
Right.
I like the word that it used instead of saying that at first. Excuse me. It said brain disease that is manifested by compulsive substance use, despite harmful consequence. I like that.
Meaning like you ignore it.
No, it's even though okay, I probably shouldn't be doing this. Whatever it is, you still do it.
You still do it.
I get that. Substance, whatever it is, drugs, alcohol, crayons, glue, markers, watching TV, drinking Cokes, whatever your substance is.
Right.
Something inside your brain is saying, do it. Use it. Keep using it. Even though sometimes you don't need to.
Even though you're conscious enough.
You're conscious enough to know, okay, this is a problem.
I shouldn't be doing it.
But something is still going on.
Right.
Making you say, okay, well, this is my last time. Or, oh, I won't do it after next week. Or, whatever they think. So I know we're talking about kids, but, like, this is for anybody.
Right.
Like, addiction is a real thing. And a lot of people don't talk about it. And I want to know why you think they don't talk about it.
Okay. The reason why they don't talk about it is because no. First of all, let me say this. A person with addiction doesn't talk about it because they already convinced themselves not to talk about it because it's something that they keep privately.
Maybe. Because sometimes some people don't care.
Yeah, but you're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, but some people don't care.
They not, yeah, of course, because they're not going to bring it up. They're not going to say anything because
but
they
why?
know that if I tell you, okay, for example, I have an addiction. You know, and I tell and I know that it's wrong every time I do it. I wouldn't tell you anything about it because I know that me knowing you, the type of person that you are,
So
you would try to talk to me out of it and say, "Okay, Eric, look, this is not good for you. You shouldn't do this." For example, you know, life can things that you go through in life. Let's say you become stressed, depression, stuff like that. What you do? You start drinking, or you start smoking. You don't tell anybody, and then when they see you one day, you be like, "Oh man, I didn't know you smoke. I didn't know you drink." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great example of it. Actually, it is, because a lot of times people will be like, "Man, I didn't know he smoked."
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't want you to know, and that,
Exactly.
it makes sense. But what I'm getting at is people don't want to talk about it because if they talk about it, this is how I see it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, they're gonna judge me because of this," or "I don't want them to lecture me because who are they to lecture me?" And that's how I feel like people think. But a lot of times, if people would just talk about something, that opens the door enough. Because how can a person who knows nothing about it help if they know nothing about it? The only thing that they know is like, oh, they know this one dude who was addicted to whatever years ago, and he saw from the outside looking in what it was doing. He knew nothing about what was going on with that person on the inside. So how do we ourselves get to a point where we open ourselves up to others, whether it be about addiction or whatever?
Whether you're the one with the addiction or...
Oh, not even just addiction. Like, how do we get to a point to show someone that we are ready for them to be open with us, or for us to tell ourselves that we're ready to open up to someone else about addiction, about whatever's going on in your life, like whatever it is? How do we get to that point, do you think?
First of all, what I think is people that have addictions have mental conflict. Period. Mental conflict can be different things. You can be stressed about something, or depressed about something, different things in that nature. So that makes you become in denial. Meaning, like, when you talk to yourself, you don't talk to yourself in a healthier way. You talk to yourself into getting into more deeper in the problem.
Right.
So, for example, if you smoke cigarettes, the more you keep telling yourself, "Oh, I need a cigarette. I'm stressing. I need a cigarette. I'm going through a lot of stuff." So you talking to yourself already in an unhealthy way.
You're talking your addiction up.
Yes, you're feeding it. You feed that ego because it's an ego. You know what I'm saying? So you feeding it. So how can you get out of that? The only way that you can get out of that is if you take yourself, the little bit of the goodness that you have, out, and separate yourself and look at yourself in front of you. I think that's the only way you can do that.
But how do you do that?
You know, addictions, it can be very, very, it can put you in a very dark place. in a
Okay.
dark place into where you can't find a way out. You don't see a way out. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes someone has to come around you to open you up, to make maybe not just be in the same predicament you are, but more like have this this way of talking to you out of it. Because that's the only way that you can do it. For example, you go to you get help, professional help. How do you get somebody that's addicted to something go to get professional help? You see what I'm saying? It's difficult. You know, it's just it's difficult just trying to find a way to talk to somebody who's addicted to drugs or alcohol or stuff like that.
That's true. We're gonna make that a topic on its own show, like addiction. Period.
Yeah,
We're gonna make
because
that
we
up.
can talk about that for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't have all the answers.
Oh no.
You know, professionally, we don't.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? But
There was a time, and I was sitting here thinking, I was like, should I share this story? But yeah, why not? So there was a time in my life where I felt like I was really happy. I was in a dark place, but people didn't know the me that was really there. And I say that because, like, I was wearing a mask basically, because there were things that I was like, okay, well, you know, no one needs to know this. It's not even a bad thing. I'm just gonna keep doing it or whatever. So one day, I decided that I was gonna make a Facebook status and I was just gonna clear the air because I was done. I was like, okay. I said, so most of you know me as the happy-go-lucky guy who does all the music stuff and does plays and all this other stuff. And I was like, bet you didn't know I was addicted to pornography. And I just went in on myself on social media way back in, I might have been like 9th, 10th grade.
okay.
And I posted it. And immediately my phone started blowing up. People were like, what are you doing? Who done hacked on your page? And I was like, no, ain't nobody hacked me. It's me. That's me. Ever since then, people come to me for help about whatever because I'm open enough about me, my wrongs, what I think I might do right. I'm super transparent. And because of that moment, I've just been a happy person. Like, I've had some bad days, yeah. But none of that gets me down to a certain extent that I'm, like, in a hole. So, addiction, I know a little bit about a little bit.
Right.
But not to the point of, I've been doing cocaine for so and so and so and so. I have no idea what. My first thing would be like, how'd you find it? Like, you know, I don't even know where to find stuff. You know.
Right.
So that's why I want to do my research on it. And I think you said you know someone we could talk to about it. So yeah, we're gonna have that whole thing lined out.
Yeah.
Cause that's dope.
And even if we don't get her to come to the studio and record or get on the show, I can always do a like one of those
Phone interviews.
right.
We can do anything. Yeah. So
Just to see what's her point of view, because the way when I was talking to her, she was like giving me a little bit of like the idea on what it is, and the first word that came to me when she was talking about it was darkness. So if you hear that word darkness, just imagine how dark she's talking about.
yeah, we definitely need to that needs to be its own thing in its own entirety. But I just wanted to bring it up because it tied in perfectly with what I was talking about. Like people.
Yeah, it's a good topic.
Yeah. So
something that a lot of people don't talk about in the shows.
Oh yeah. Another thing that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna talk about it yet.
Keep it a buck, man. Keep it a buck.
Keeping it a buck. Me and Lisa were just talking about some stuff, and we were talking about friendships.
Okay.
We were talking about how people treat other people in relationships, friendships, whatever. To you, how do you think you would treat someone who's been there for you through everything?
How would I treat?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you treat them?
For someone to be okay, you gotta be a little more specific.
Okay, so say you in your everyday life,
okay,
and everything's been just going horrible, and then you've got good things that happen, and then it goes back to being bad, and then you got good things that happen. The person that was there in the bad and the good every time, who do you think you treat the best? Like the people that you see or other people?
okay.
Like the person that was there the entire time, to the bad and the good, or just the people that show up in the good?
Well, it comes to keeping it 100 with someone that's been there through a lot of things that you went in, through your life. You don't treat them bad. You don't.
You're not supposed to.
Not supposed to.
Do you think that always happens?
No, not all the time.
What percentage of the time do you think it happens where they're treated how they need to be treated?
I think people get comfortable.
That's a good word for it.
People get comfortable with getting away with things. And so that's the reason why, or that could be one of the reasons why the person that's been there for you get mistreated. Or it seems that way. Because there's a difference between treating somebody bad and doing things that it seems like they are being treated bad.
Elaborate.
For example, if you're doing things that person that's been there for you all this time doesn't agree with it, and they feel like they being treated bad because of that, and there's this other thing where you can be treating that person bad by doing things to that person intentionally. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so the word expectations. The question is, why people that gives less expect more from people that gives more?
Okay. Do they have to?
They don't have to, but sometimes you get into a situation where that's what it becomes.
Let me sit down. Let me read it.
Read the question.
Why people give less, expect more. People that give more. Okay, so both people are wrong.
Right. I agree.
Tell me how.
Because, first of all, it becomes
Expectation.
Expectation, which creates a codependency. The person that receives more is the person that's in the codependency, and the person that gives less. Well, let me get it right. The person that gives less is already in the codependency because they expect more from the person that's giving more. They become selfish. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I agree with what you say, that both of them are wrong. One, because one don't give enough, and then the other one give too much.
So,
do you agree with that?
one of them is expecting something,
Right.
and one of them knows that they ain't gonna get it. Right?
Right.
More or less. One knows that they're gonna get it, and one knows that they're not. Right?
Right.
How do you fix that?
Yeah, how do you fix that?
How do you fix it? I'm asking. To you, how do
The
you fix it?
person that's giving more has to stop giving, so the other person can wake up and say, okay, well, I won't be expecting anything else from this person because...
That's putting too much pressure on one person.
But see, they both wrong.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
So something's got to be done in order for them to see what they doing wrong.
But the way you're saying it is, the one who's doing more needs to just stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah, because that'll make the other person that's giving less get out of that codependency and becomes a little more independent for
Not
themselves.
necessarily. Say you got two people and you have a bill and you're gonna split the bill.
Right.
Usually when you split the bill, you go, okay, it's $50, it's 25 and 25.
Right.
That's how it usually goes when you split the bill. Well, what happens if I don't want to split the bill evenly because I didn't get the same amount of stuff as you got? Now I want to pay for what I got, which is $10, and you pay for what you got, which is more. Am I wrong for that?
You're not wrong for that, but you should consider that y'all agree to pay for the bill, half and half.
No, see, that's the problem. No one sets the standard. No one says this is how we're going to do it. They assume that both parties know. They never know. Because as soon as someone says something, well, I thought. Why would you think that? Well, because I've been doing it this way, and you never said.
Right, which it brings me to this question. Like, for example, you take a woman on a date. Or let's say you just take your girlfriend on a date.
Okay.
It's not somebody that you just met. It's somebody that you already been with.
Okay.
And so your girlfriend expect you to pay for the bill.
And I'm
all
gonna do that.
the time.
And I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I'll do that too. But for you to expect that all the time, I don't think it's right. I think that a woman, it's okay for her to pay sometimes.
Yeah, but see, that's different.
I gave jobs.
I gave you that expectation. I said it that way.
Grizzly, if I invite you to something, I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah, that's how I
don't expect for you to pay or come out your pocket at all.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So if my girlfriend or my wife tells me, well, look, we're going to go and do this. I'm not saying that I'm going to let her pay for it. But if sometimes she can say, hey, well, I'm gonna pay for it this time, I'll be okay with that.
But would you be mad if she never said anything?
I wouldn't be mad, but
So what you're saying is, your expectation is you expect at some point they have a change of heart and they offer to do something that you've previously set that they shouldn't have to.
yeah, but if you do say it,
But they don't have to. That's my point. Then,
but it would be nice for you to do that.
yeah, it would also be nice to win the lottery. But how many people really do that? Just being nice doesn't set it. If you set the bar, you set it. How you get mad at the person who's like, oh, well, he said it there. That's where it's at.
I understand that, but at the same time, don't you think that other person should have some kind of consideration and say, oh, you know what?
Not if I set the bar there.
No, I don't agree with that. Nah.
Hey, look, even if if I go on a date with somebody, even if they say, hey, look, I can pay for mine. Nah, I'm still going to pay for it.
Right, because that's you.
So what happens if I do that? You think they're going to ask again?
The next time you take them on a date, they're going to be expecting for you to pay. You see what I'm saying?
That's my point.
So why would you send that kind of standards to, like every time you go out, you got to pay?
Because that's what I do. If it's me, if I'm like, hey, we're going somewhere, this is all my thought,
I'm going to pay for it.
I'm going to pay for it.
And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with me paying for dinner all the time. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to know why that person don't consider to say, hey, let me pay for it one time. Not because, okay, let's say it's your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. She knows what kind of bills you pay, what you do for her, period. And if you got a pocket full of cash and you say, you know what, I'm gonna pay for it, honey. You see what I'm saying? Why not? What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it.
You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't be.
But you expecting her to do that. But you're
but I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna let you pay for it. No, I'm gonna let you pay for it. If you say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for it, then I'm gonna let you do that.
But what's wrong? What's the difference in your expectation and theirs?
What's the what?
The difference in your expectation and theirs.
I'm not expecting for her to do that all the time.
No, not all the time. I'm just saying, what's the difference?
Expecting her to have that type of equal give and take. Like, oh, you know what? I'll pay for it, honey.
Is that the way you set it up?
That's not the way I set it up.
Then you can't expect it.
But that person should not be expecting that all the time.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That don't mean nothing. And you know this. That means nothing.
And you know this, man?
Yeah, you know this. The expectation is wrong on both ends. You set the bar here, so they expect this. Well, now that you looking at it, you like, man, I done pay for everything every time. Now you get the bill, and you got it, and you know she got it. But then you looking like,
no, I'm not gonna be looking like nothing.
That's what you just said.
I will be. I'm not gonna expect.
Eventually, she'll be like, "Oh, I got it," or "I got half of it," or "Don't worry about it. It's on me." You expecting that at some point? How can you expect something? How can you expect something from someone that they've never done before?
If your woman is the driver, and she's picking you up,
you can expect to not touch the radio.
Is it okay for her to open the door for you?
Is it okay?
Yeah. Do you expect for her to open the door for you?
No.
Like, see, it's a double standard then.
No, it's not.
Because they would be expecting for you to open the door if it was your car and you were picking
Never
them up.
start something you can't finish. Point blank.
That's right. I agree.
I
with
used
that.
to open the door
I
for
agree.
my woman, and then one day I didn't,
And she got mad.
and she was like, "You ain't open the door for me." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Never now. Like when we're walking into a place, yes.
Yeah, I
We're
open the
walking
door
out of
for
a
you.
place, most definitely.
Right.
Getting into a car, which this is probably chivalry's dead, whatever. She
You know good,
she opens
Grizzly.
her own door. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've learned if you do it, it's expected. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna every time remember because that's not what I do. I'm not gonna do it. That makes
Right, but
sense?
I understand that. I get it.
Never start
That's
nothing
only
you can't finish.
if you practice it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never start anything that I know for a fact I'm not gonna keep up.
Me either. But just to have a conversation on it is a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Expectations.
But you need to have that conversation up front. You don't need to wait 10 years into a relationship and be like, why you ain't never asked to pay for the food?
No,
And
we're
now
talking about an early dating.
No,
and
I'm
stuff
talking
that-
about period.
No, I don't expect my girlfriend or my wife to, to pay for dinner after I've been with them like 20, 30, 45, 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying?
But you still be looking for that window where, like, when the bill
like,
comes.
man, I wish she could pay for it.
Oh, she got her hand in her purse. I wonder what she doing. Yeah, you still got that look. I know you do. And you be like, oh, what's she finna pull? Oh, she pulling out her phone. Oh, okay. Nah, man. Both expectations are wrong. Don't set the bar there if you ain't willing to keep it there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Because then you get in an argument. And men be saying women do this, but men do this too.
Yeah, I think it's on both
Like
sides.
that book that they say women have that they pull stuff out. Well, September 17th at 3:30, you sent me this text message. Like that book. Men got that book too.
That's
But-
crazy how women be like
But see,
recording everything.
men do the same
Like
thing.
they never. No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
The only time we do that is if we like if something happened, and then we like right on it. Like ever since that happened, we be on them all the time. Like we start
That's the
remembering
same thing
things.
that they do. You just said exactly what they do.
If something happened,
It's
but
the same
No,
thing.
but they don't wait till something happened. They already like the same conversation you had last night.
It's the same thing.
While you was laying in the bed, it's the same thing that they're gonna bring up 3 weeks to 4 weeks from then
Hey, men do the
in
same
an
thing.
argument.
Men do the same thing. I know men do the same thing. Cause
I don't remember most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
remember. You remember. Men need to stop that, and I'm gonna tell you to stop. Men do that. If we can remember every person that plays on almost every football team and basketball team and baseball team, and we can remember all the cheat codes to video games, why we can't remember what we said on a certain day to somebody?
I don't.
You remember. Because the
remember.
moment somebody says, you remember on this day you said such and such, what's the first thing you say? I didn't say that, I said this. And then your brain automatically go back to that same point and y'all reliving that moment. We remember.
I don't remember.
You may not remember the day and time.
If it's
But you
something that's going to jeopardize,
Nah.
I'm taking it to my grave.
See, men, slow down. Men and women have a book. The only difference is men ain't as we aren't as organized with our book. Our book just have random stuff in it on different pages, and we at that moment we can't find it. But then after we lose the argument, which a lot of times we lose because we ain't got the book in order.
Right.
Later on, you'd be like,
Man, I should have said that. I remember when I said this.
dang, I should have, yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So we know, we do the same thing, we just ain't organized.
Most of the time when the arguments start, we go blank. We don't remember nothing.
I thought we all ate chips. You know what? She said she
You
was
remember you ate
She
the
was on the
chips.
keto diet that day. I sure forgot that she said that she was on the keto. Yeah, because I remember I bought them sour cream and onions. And
Right.
we know. We just be like, dang, what page is that on? September. How I went from September to January. I'm missing stuff.
I gotta say, they be on point with it, man. They be on point with it.
You know what that is?
What that is?
They pay attention.
Of course.
Men don't be paying that much attention.
Because we don't really care.
That's a problem.
Yeah, we don't care.
Hey, don't say we.
Yeah, including you.
Nah, because I care. I remember.
Yes.
Anything that I say that is either wrong and or right, I remember it.
I agree
Still to
with
thi-
that.
still to
but
this day.
at the same time,
No. Mm-mm. Don't do that.
because if we care, if we did care,
Mm-hmm.
we'll say, you know what? Yeah, I remember that day when I said that.
I always say I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
Only time I say I don't remember is if it didn't happen. And a lot of times I find
Most
that
of
it
the
didn't
time,
happen.
I don't remember. I'm serious.
I remember stuff.
I remember when you say this, and no,
This
I don't remember.
You know why men say that? They don't remember.
Why?
They remember. They do. They be like, whenever you know you finna lose that argument. No, I don't remember that at all.
Man, I literally
And that's men or women.
had that.
My ex said that once. I said, "You remember?" I don't remember that. I didn't even say what it was to remember. She was like, "I don't remember that at all." I said, "I didn't even say it yet."
Right. You
She's
don't
like,
even know what we talking about.
What is it? I said, "I know you remember because you remember that whole day."
Wait a minute. I know what you're about to say. And you know, they don't even know what you're talking about.
Not a clue. Trying to move me off to something else.
Right.
You finna say I told you I was gonna make them smothered potatoes. That's nowhere near what I was talking about. Oh, what you talking? Nothing. So about them smothered potatoes, trying to get me off track.
Right.
But no, we gotta pay more attention
Yeah, we do, man.
because
We
it
do.
makes me upset. Makes me upset to see somebody in in an argument, and one of them just got like unlimited ammo, and the other one just sitting there.
And the
like,
other one's just like,
and I'm like, oh man, tell her about the day. And he'd be like, yeah, that day we said, I don't even remember what I said. And then he just getting lit up. Like my ex, she tells me all the time. I remember when you told me, and every time she says, "I remember when you told me," it's always the exact same thing.
yeah, I think.
I was looking at her one day. It was early one morning. The sun was peeking up through the blinds, and I looked at her, and one side of her face was fatter. And I said it. I said, "You know, one side of your face
It's fat.
is fatter than the other." Never lived that down. Ever.
That's gonna come up in any argument.
Anytime.
Yeah, I remember when you called me.
I remember when you said I was fat. I said, that is not what I said. I said, you know, one side of your face is fatter than the other. I never said you were fat. That's been an argument for 5 years.
You know, and that brings me to the next to this next subject that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Low self-esteem.
Speak on it.
Low self-esteem when women or men don't have self-love, self-value. They look at themselves in a different way. Like, for example, women be saying, "Oh, I'm fat. I don't feel pretty."
A lot of times that's not self either. They've been told that.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of times they've been told that, or if they've heard someone say it.
Or they
And then
heard someone not including them in a certain group.
Then they say, "What's wrong with me?"
Right.
You know, look, women. Stop reading these magazines that got all these 100 and something ways to please your man, or written by some woman. These women don't know. They don't know.
I agree.
A lot, and men, women, whoever, stop taking advice from people who are worse off than you.
Google is one of them.
Y'all ain't WebMD.
I'm telling you, they go to Google for everything.
Men and women, whoever. But stop it. Stop it. It's frustrating to see somebody who's amazing inside and out.
Right.
First thing they say, "Oh no, I'm nothing special." What? Like, that aggravates me off top. If I'm talking to somebody and I'm like, "Man, you pretty cool." "Oh, I'm nothing special." Is there another you walking around here? Well, no. Then you special. Duh. Okay. Like, what?
Oh, when they say, when you ask them the question, like, what's wrong? And they be like, I don't like the way I look. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I don't understand.
are you serious? As many times as
17 new tips to do
people
foundation.
tell you, like, how beautiful you are, and you know what I'm saying? So
There was one person that said they wasn't. Just like the one time I said that her face was fatter on one side.
that's what
One
I'm talking
person said something, and instead of hearing all the good, they heard that's the one thing that they focus on.
about. Right.
And why, I don't know.
You know, self-esteem.
I have low self-esteem. No, because that wasn't even your thought. Someone else said it. You
Right.
never thought that until they said it.
Until somebody confirmed it to you, or pretty much gave you the idea that you have
And then
low
you're like,
self-esteem.
I could lose 5 pounds on my left side. Like, what? First of all,
How you gonna do that?
how? First of all, like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah, I think you know,
Self-esteem is self. It starts with you,
it starts with you. You have to
And-
love yourself.
but they don't know that.
You gotta have. Let me see. I wrote this down too. Self-love, self-value,
Self-confidence.
self-confidence. Correct. You know, and then low self-esteem can bring you a lot of different things. You know, especially when it comes to your health, like depression, stress. You know, low self-esteem can come from like past events, sexual abuse,
That's true.
domestic violence,
That's very true.
abandonment. You know what I'm saying? Not having self-worth or value. I already said that. It can affect you from child to an adult.
Yeah.
When you feel like you're not good enough for others.
When you are better than a lot of them.
Exactly. And you're funny than everybody else. You're funnier.
Yeah.
You have this.
Glow about you.
Exactly. When you walk in the room, it's like, boom.
They're here.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so how can a person like that can have low self-esteem? I don't get it.
It's them. It's a thing.
It's how you talk to yourself.
What
do you say to yourself?
Whenever someone says that they have low self-esteem, I ask them one question. I ask them when it started. And they can usually tell me when.
Right.
And I tell them, I say, you know, that point right there is the problem. I mean, what do you mean? Because up until that point, it was never there. But after that point, it manifested. Some people be like, oh, I never. That's not true. Did you come out of the womb saying, oh, I got a big toe that's ugly? Nope. Till somebody said, oh, look at that big toe. Now all of a sudden, oh, I'm self-conscious about my feet.
Right.
It's not self. It's always someone else.
Which it brings me to the next subject.
What's that?
Bullying. Back in the days. Well, back in the day.
Look, you straight. It's just every time you say that now, I think of people who be like, he says days.
Like Tony Starks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Back in the days.
Back in the days. Okay, bullying became something now. Became something like major.
Yeah.
The way they describe bullying now, it's like it's very annoying to me.
What do you mean?
Because I me personally, I used to get bullied every day. I used to get jumped by 4th graders every day. Every day. Me and a friend of mine. Every time we get out of school.
What grade were you in?
It's 4th grade.
Oh.
Duh.
I'm not making a joke about it, but
No.
I was thinking like you were in
funny
third.
to me.
I thought you were in 3rd grade or something.
No. It's funny to me. It's funny to me because.
I
But
just picture you being in 12th grade. These 4th graders run up on you
no,
and your
4th
friend.
graders, and then it became high school, and then it became more than that. I used to get jumped every day. I was just talking to a friend of mine about it. You know what I'm saying? Every day. And I'm not saying it didn't affect me, but I don't look at it the way that these kids looking at bullying now.
And it was different though.
Like you can tell a 10-year-old, you can tell her, oh, you're ugly. Mm-hmm. And you constantly saying that to her every day. She's going to take that and get mental, she going to get conflicting about it. Yeah. And then she goes, there was a lot of cases like that where these kids get bullied by just, listening to other classmates telling them something like that, and they kill themselves.
Yeah, but bullying it's evolved like everything else.
That's what I'm saying. But it evolved in the lower, in a more lower, standards.
Well, no, it used to be where you get bullied, like at school, back in the days. You would get bullied at school, but when you got home, it's okay. It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Until the next day.
Right, you're going to get it again.
Now, it follows you. Right here.
Right.
On your phone, your computer. It follows you literally everywhere. You could tell somebody in first period, oh, you ugly. And tell them all day throughout school. And as soon as they get on the bus, you would think, oh, it's over now. And then they send them a message on Facebook, you still ugly. And so they're like, I'm not going to get on Facebook. Somebody done put a picture and turned you into a meme. So-and-so ugly. Posted on Instagram. Now you can't get on Instagram. Now you're literally having to change your day-to-day life. As opposed to before, it was literally, oh, I'm at home now, I'm safe.
Right.
It follows you more so now than it did then. And people aren't handling it for a few reasons. One, because we got kids raising kids. Oh, say it one more time. I'm going to say it again. We got kids raising kids. And then on top of that, social media and all this other stuff is glorifying a certain look or a certain way of thinking. And if you're not that, then you're not popping. You're not popular.
Right.
So now you're reading magazines, looking at all these pictures, looking at all these people you admire on the internet and all this other stuff. Now you're trying to be them instead of trying to be yourself. And then everyone can't be that person. So what those other people who try to be or who are closer to being that person do? They pick on the one that's not. They can't handle it. they can't open up to their parents about it because their parents are like, oh, it's just bullying. We went through the same stuff. Well, no, you didn't. You went through, oh, you ugly, getting picked on at school. Now you at home with your mom or with your parents or grandparents or whoever, and it's over now.
Right.
As opposed to now, it's following me. I can't. If I sit my phone down and I show you, it's here. But what do they say? Oh, just don't be on your phone.
Right, because I think to me they create an illusion of a different persona.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
what
for
it
example, that's what social media is. It's an illusion of a persona. You see what I'm saying? So kids take that, and when they start getting bullied on social media, it's killing that character that they created, that illusion.
The person they want to be.
Or
The person that they want to see themselves as.
Exactly. And but it's not actually, doing something to themselves, period. And so I think that they mix the illusion from the character, and
it's a will thing.
Yeah, and they kind of merge it, and so that's why they become affected by it.
I think it's because when you're on social media, which I have something to say about that in a second, but when you're there, if their bullying is enough to destroy the person you are striving to be in your real life, if they can destroy that person, they're thinking, I'm not even there yet. So I know how they feel. If they feel about this version of me, the best version that I see of myself, how do they feel about the real me?
Right.
And that's not enough for them to handle. But there's also a thing, it was an article I was reading, where people were saying, should it be illegal to be anything other than yourself on social media? Like, don't over glorify yourself on social media, because whenever, and I see this all the time, like you get on people's Snapchats or Twitters, their Tumblrs, and they have this extravagant looking life, and you're like, man,
I wish I was like that.
what are they doing that I'm not doing? We're the same age, we're doing the same stuff. How is this so much better? There's a group, or a few groups actually, of people who are trying to get that banned. Like, if that's not how you live your life, you're not supposed to be able to post it. And that's what they're trying to make that a law.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's my first time hearing that.
I saw that, I think last week, I think is when I saw that. And I was reading the article, I was like, man, this is interesting.
So, like, if you take a picture with let's say a Lamborghini next to you,
and
it's not even yours.
It's not yours. They nope, against the law. They're gonna give you a fine. And I'm like, that could do a lot of damage for good and bad.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they go about doing that. That's really.
I mean, I think they just talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how official that is, but I'm just thinking.
Man, anything now to me, I take it as being serious. You heard about the mushroom thing, right?
No.
Hold on. What state is it? There's a state that legalized
Smoking
shrooms.
mushrooms.
Yeah. I think Alabama is going into something about abortion that they're making law, or is a law now, something.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, there's a whole... And all of these were just random little things on your sidebar at one point that no one really paid attention to, except for the right people, apparently. Because now they're laws.
Right.
So now I'm like, anything I read, I'm like, oh man, I need to pay attention to more stuff. Because anything just out of the blue could be like, oh, well, you thought you were going to be able to do this. Nope. Here's a fine. You should have did it this way.
Yeah, I just think they're taking it too far, man. It's just taking a lot of stuff too far.
Well, it's
like stuff that's not even affecting anybody. It's just taking it too far.
You know what it is? One person gets affected.
Then it becomes a law.
Then it's a thing. It only takes one person. Like, one person could be like, I only use Samsung products and I got cancer. Samsung products are now bad.
Right. They take it too far.
You know, I mean, but how do you know if it's too far? If it's justifiable? How do you know?
Anything can happen. That's what I'm saying. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything is happening.
Like, for example, if you keep your phone on your charger for on a period of time, and it blows up under your pillow, what do you expect?
You know, I've every night when I plug my phone up, I plug it up and it sits right next to me, right next to my pillow. I've done this since the first phone I ever had.
On the charger.
On the charger all night.
Yeah, me too.
Nothing
I never had a problem.
Ever bad happened. Knock on wood. But one person it happened to. Huge outbreak. Oh, this is bad. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
One person. Interesante.
Yeah, muy interesante.
I think it's crazy.
Man.
It only takes one person for anything, which goes back to everything else we've been talking about.
Right.
It only takes one person to make something good or bad.
Yeah, I agree.
One positive or negative influence.
Man, we touched on a lot of things this time.
We did. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Do you have anything coming up?
Anything coming up? No, not right now.
Okay.
I have a lot of ideas that I will be talking to you about after this.
Okay, that sounds cool.
And then, yeah. I can't wait till we start doing the visuals. I can't wait till we start having guests. I think we're going to start doing that after the 10th.
Yeah, once we get a good feel, a solid foundation.
Right.
Something we talk about a lot on this show.
Foundation.
In
the world.
Oh, I do want to give a shout out to my cousin Timberly. She graduated tonight.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to all the graduates.
Yeah, shout out to the class of 2019.
Sure, man.
Yeah. That got real that got real professional. Graduating class of 2019. In a world where school is out for the summer. But no, let me think. I'm trying to think of who else. I said I was going to say a shout out to somebody else. I can't remember who it is. Did I? Shout out to all the people who leave comments. I know we touched on it earlier, but shout out to everybody who listens, period.
Mm-hmm.
All the people who leave comments and constructive criticism. Almost didn't say that word correctly.
Yeah, just that's one thing we don't pronounce words correctly most of the times, because you know what, we just come out the door with this stuff.
And
you know,
we keep it in the book,
and we don't write it down.
We literally write down. Oh, we could talk about this. We could talk about this. And we could talk about this, and then we just go.
We just go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it. Next episode. I'm not writing down nothing.
I ain't writing down either.
And we're just gonna go off of whatever. And just figure it out.
Don't we do that all the time? And we do that already?
We'll see. But we write down like main topics. I'm not writing down nothing.
Oh yeah, we always do that.
I'm gonna be like, so this is the show, blah 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 blah, and I'm just gonna come up with some random thing on top of my head, and we're just gonna let it ride.
We're gonna go from there.
Yep, keep it a buck.
Yeah, we keep it a buck.
But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's something else that I want to say, and I can't remember what it is. Excuse me.
What I would like to do is touch on more serious subjects.
Oh yeah.
That a lot of talk shows don't talk about.
Give me an example.
Police brutality.
We
We could talk about some serious stuff.
can.
immigration.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, I like to talk about a little bit of politics here and there. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know what I feel or what I think about.
Yeah. Oh, that's who it is. So shout out to Mocha Looks.
Is that coffee or something?
No, it's actually shop for health and beauty shop for the best fragrances and necessities. It's actually owned by my brother.
Okay.
Mocha Looks, www.mochalook.biz.
Give him a little shout out.
Yeah. My brother, DJ 50 Cal, out
Congrats,
in Hawaii.
congrats.
So, yeah. That's who I wanted to do my shout out for because, I mean, you know, brotherly love. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think I was talking about doing that like a couple of episodes before, like where we could start promoting people's business.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I would like to help the community. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Let them see that we appreciate what they do.
Yeah, it's not all about us.
It ain't just about talking. You know what I'm saying? It's about also helping people.
We're going to the streets.
To be honest with you, this is what I do. When I'm at work, I listen to my own podcast. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just have to get that out there, man. And you know what? I inspire myself.
I inspire myself.
Yes, I do.
I inspire myself.
In a world.
I tell you who else I listen to. I listen to my stepsister and my mom.
In your hand. Yeah, you told me about that.
I listen to their podcast a lot, which I still got to give her the link to this one. I keep tripping. She's literally like right in a room next to me, and I can't remember because she told me to text it to her, and I was like, okay, and I got it and forgot.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about that. We are on.
Yeah, we are on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, and this episode I think I'm going to submit for iHeartRadio, and also Spotify.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I already told people about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gonna be looking for it.
I literally downloaded Tumblr today so I can make us a Tumblr page. So yeah, I'm on it, man. What else am I on? SoundCloud. I mean, I'm on I'm trying to get literally everything. If they let me put it on my mixtapes, I'll put it on my mixtapes. Like it. If I can get it out there, I'm getting it out there. I'm looking at all the stuff, trying to figure out how to put links on whatever and whatnot, making pages. So yeah, doing my homework.
Sounds good. I
don't be going to sleep. I woke up the other day. I said, "Man, I'm so glad I didn't have to go to work today." I woke up at like 3 o'clock, and I said, "Good God." I gotta go work. I was like, "Good. I gotta go to work tomorrow or today." Today.
But like I said, we touch on a lot of good subjects. We got some good things coming up. We want to thank everybody for listening. Keep supporting. We appreciate you for everything. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And what's that bit, Grizzly?
We got to keep it above.
You are now listening to DJ Impossible. You are now listening to DJ Impossible. The most anticipated show of your week. Ladies and gentlemen, the Keep It Above Podcast.